It's actually a high priority when it comes to my line of work. I handle office management, and that is probably one of the high factors when purchasing equipment for the company.
I take it into consideration, but I weigh it with the odds of cost and accessibility, things like that.
It factors in, but it's not the driving force, I would say. I think for a lot of young people now, especially if you're in law school or you have a lot of debt, and so looking at the cheap things is something that like it's not very expensive. It's something you really want to consider. If it's equal price and one's a sustainable type material, every time. But usually the way things are, it's not that way.
Can you explain what sustainability is? I mean, of course, if it's something local, I'm all for that. More food, I think, and like bath products or something, but not, like electronics, stuff like that. I don't factor that in.
Clothing is difficult for me. I'm not a clothes horse. I just wear what's convenient. So I'm not really into that. I would like to say I do organic cottons and pay attention to that, but I don't. I really don't yet. I haven't gotten to that point. I'm really sort of into what's in my garden and what's in my body.
I guess I just think about like when I'm driving to run errands or something, I try to group things together.
Right,
In one shot, not driving all over the city, or just try to think about, be a little bit more conscious of those things.
Pretty much, some of the information I get is from obviously television, but as well as pamphlets that I receive from the city and other agencies that help me out. To tell you the truth, for me, when I'm doing my purchases, I like to actually follow up on the reviews that are posted on there to just take other people's feedback and then take it from there.
I guess I do my own personal research on certain things, but I take labels for granted, I guess. So there's being green and sustainable is sort of a movement in itself, and it's also a marketing thing at this time. So a lot of things will say they're organic or they're local or they're sustainable or reusable, and I guess I have to take those for granted that they are.
With regard to products, I don't look at the product label and research the product before I buy it to make sure it's sustainable. I don't. So if you're asking me what information I use, I don't use anything. If it's kind of a known fact that it's a sustainable product, in the general media, or if I'm on New York Times information or if I'm reading Wall Street Journal, fine. But as far as like getting in detailed research, I don't do that.
I'm more for like people telling me if they've used the product, then I'll go with that. Like I'm that person where I read blogs and I talk to friends a lot and they give me their opinion on the product. So I kind of just go with what people say.
My consumption of media and news sources is so natural to me at this point. I don't really notice it anymore. But research reports, I read a lot of those for work as well. So that might be it.
Probably be product labels. So whenever we're actually looking to purchase those certain products, that if that information is readily available, it'll make our decision really easy.
People do enough, not advertising, but people talk about products online. So if I see that it's listed there, then it helps.
More information is better, right? But I think these days you got to find the balance between kind of infusing people with information and get the information out there, but also not bombarding them. Because if it's like, if you look at Facebook or something, or other kind of social media, or even just general media in general, too much information, people just start glossing over it. So if there's a big list on a product of all the things that this is sustainable for, no one's gonna not no one, but the average Joe is not gonna sit there and read the whole thing. But again, you want to inform them.
Really, I think there's data and there's data interpretation. So really, the kind of data that informs the decision, but still leaves it to individual consumers to make the decision for themselves. It really boils down to, you want people to make informed choices, but you really can't stop them from making certain choices. I think the transparency really, there's a lot of, for example, right now in organic food, there's a lot of controversy surrounding what is organic, who is allowed to make that decision, and how much does it cost for a small farmer to be certified organic. And the board of governance of the Organic Food Organization is now run by the big corporations. What does that really mean, right? So what it really boils down to for me is the kind of information that is relevant and in a transparent way for me to understand. So it's not just a blanket, kind of label, but what it means.